It's just me and Pon in the car, just talking story again. It's living our teenage life. Two girls that kind of walk out in front of the white truck. I'm looking at that wall and I swerve the car back the other way. They're just gone. Everyone put on your seatbelts, be a safe driver, and still alive. So in my last video, I tried shortening that whole intro bit. I hope you guys liked it. I like doing this like little trailer thing. That was kind of fun, so I'm gonna try to continue that going forward. Today's memory though kind of relates to my last one, although this time I'm driving instead of my mom. I got my driver's license when I was 15 and a half. I was super excited to get my license, getting ready to just go out there and start driving and bringing all my friends around and cruising the street by myself. But when you're a kid, you don't really drive that well. I definitely didn't respect the road as much as I do now, because now I love driving. I love taking long trips. I love seeing the scenery of new places. I like seeing new cities. I like seeing how the roads are made. I like watching the sky. I like just kind of sitting in the car and listening to audiobooks or podcasts or music or whatever. And when we go on long trips now, I really like the whole family in the back of the van, everybody just talking story everywhere, road trip games and rest stops. All this stuff is really fun. All the road trip stuff is really fun. I respect the road a lot more now than I did when I was a teenager. And by the time I was like 17, probably by the time I was like 17, I've already had 5 or 6 speeding tickets and been in 2 different car accidents. My first car accident, nothing really crazy. I just kind of pressed the brake late and then ran into the back of a Mustang, and it left this like exhaust hole size circle in my front bumper. My second car accident though, that one was a bit more eventful. So that night, I think Pon and I was probably driving back home coming from the east side, because we spent a lot of time in Henderson, and at the time we lived in the west side closer to Summerlin. The sun was already down, street lights are on, and we're driving in this like old 88 to 91 blue Civic hatchback that Pon bought from her mom, that we've been using now for probably a year or so by that point. The radio was on, our AC was weak, so we had all the windows rolled down, and the street lights are just passing by us, and it's just me and Pon in the car, just talking story again, and just living our teenage life, trying to get back home. So we're driving down Durango, at least I think it's Durango. It's been like 20 years since I thought about this, but we're going down Durango. It feels like we're hitting every green light on the way, so everything's just moving real smoothly. We're just kind of cruising by. I'm in the middle lane, so there's 3 lanes. I'm in the middle lane, and to the left of me, there's this giant white lifted truck. It's kind of important to note that to the right is a sidewalk, of course, and then it's a wall of stucco fencing, because all the fences in Vegas was made of stucco. But it's a wall of stucco fencing, because it's just it's a neighborhood on our right side, and on our left side there's like a grocery store, like a Vons or Smith's or something. So me and this truck are just passing street light after street light after street light, and eventually the truck starts to slow down. It looks like he's about to slow down and turn into the turning lane to move into the grocery store or whatever that's over there. I didn't think anything of it. I don't think anyone really would think anything of it, but he starts slowing down, and then all of a sudden I see him come to a complete stop. And I think, okay, weird. He didn't get into the turning lane, but he came to a stop, but whatever. So I just continued driving straight, and suddenly, oh shit, the fuck is that? It's 2 girls that kind of walk out in front of the white truck. Luckily, all of my gamer skills kind of kicked into play, because I swerved the hatchback to my right. And now I'm facing towards that stucco wall. If I break through that stucco wall, I'm gonna end up in someone's backyard. So I'm looking at that wall and I swerve the car back the other way. I'm facing forward for like a brief second until the wheels catch, and now it's hooking me all the way back around, and I'm making basically a short U-turn in this small 3-lane street. And I come back around and I'm now facing towards the Vons, but really I'm facing the back of this guy's white truck, and I just slammed right into the back of that white truck's wheel. Luckily, no airbags go off, or maybe not luckily. I mean, old Civic problems, they didn't have airbags in those old Civics back then. But no airbags go off, the radio is still playing, my ears are ringing. I check over to my right to see if Pon's okay, she seems all right, I'm all right. We get out of the car and kind of check in to see if the guy in the truck is okay, but the two girls, they disappeared. They're just gone. Did I imagine them or something? Are they like Chris Angel's daughters or something? Did they just disappear? I have no clue, but we end up calling the police. The guy's truck is still drivable. Our Civic was not drivable, I don't think. Actually, don't really remember too much. I do remember that the truck's axle broke because of the impact, so maybe his truck wasn't drivable. I don't know. The police finally arrive. We talk to them, give them our whole side of the story. We tell them about the two girls that showed up. So the guy saw the two girls too. Obviously, he stopped for him. This isn't just all my imagination. But we talked to them for a bit. A little while later, I can't remember how this played out. For some reason, I remember going to the little girl's house, or maybe they showed up at the scene. I can't remember. Something like that. Apparently, some Good Samaritan followed the two girls back home to make sure that they were okay, to get in touch with their parents and let them know what happened. But we ended up talking to the two girls and also their parents. The two girls are crying. The parents are super apologetic. The two girls were just getting groceries or something at that QFC, and they were on their way back home, but they didn't take the crosswalk, which was probably like 30 feet away from where we were because we just passed another light. Don't really remember if our insurance paid for all the damages. I'm pretty sure ours did. I mean, yeah, that sounds about right. But this whole car accident all kind of just cemented with me what the idea of a car accident is. It was something that was completely out of our control and kind of taught me that things can just happen and you can't always prepare for anything that can happen. Now I know I always have to wear my seatbelt. My passengers should be wearing their seatbelt. Airbags are important. Gotta say though, I am a better and more responsible driver now. And since Rio's been born, and this was maybe 18 years ago now, I haven't been in another car accident since, so that's a win. But everybody put on your seatbelts, be a responsible driver, and don't die.